Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shebedachim dam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shebedachim dam yachad. Let's sing that again. Here we go. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shebedachim dam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim shebedachim dam yachad. Repeat after us. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Here we go. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am Rabbi Rachel Miller here with Cantor Lauren Adesnik. Behind the scenes, you've got Stephen Blick on the computers and Mark Feinberg on the camera, making all of this work and happen and be wonderful. And so, friends, welcome everybody joining us tonight on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live. And friends, at this time, if you're joining on Facebook, you'll be able to see our service pinned to the top of the comment section. If you're joining on YouTube, go ahead and also head over to the Temple Emanu-El website, where you can go to the live stream page, and you can also find tonight's service as a PDF on our website. So friends, take a moment this Shabbat evening, go into that Facebook feed, say Shabbat Shalom to one another. And friends, a big shout out to the Stoyer family as we have the honor of welcoming Jamie to the Bima tomorrow as she becomes a bat mitzvah. All right, friends, let us join together in prayer, a little ki va moed, getting ready for that Shabbat feeling.
Feel free to clap your hands at home. We sing Shabbat Shalom together. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Friends, as we get ready to formally welcome Shabbat with candle lighting, let's first go ahead and feel comfortable, whether that's feet on the floor or our back against our chairs. I invite you to flutter your eyes closed as we leave behind this week of Thanksgiving, a week where many people take off from work or kids are off of school. And it's a busy week, one in which we try to feel that building up for Thanksgiving, one that was a little different this year for most. And so we're going to leave all of those memories we made this year, we're going to put them to the side so that we can enter Shabbat fully present. Deep breath together. Let it out. We welcome in those holy vitamins, that holy energy, taking a deep breath in and let it out. And one final breath to enter Shabbat. Deep breath in, and we let it out. Friends, if you have Shabbat candles at home, I invite you to ready your matches now as we turn to page 120 or page 2 in our Daf Tefillah for our candle lighting. Please rise.
All right. Oop. We bring in all that Shabbat light and warmth and energy. We make the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Friends, in case you were running around the house looking for those candles or looking for those matches, you still have time to light as we prepare to welcome the Sabbath angels with these words of Shalom Aleichem. Angels, 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 a theme of the service tonight. I'll be speaking about this power of angels in Judaism a little bit later. We join in these words of Shalom Aleichem, page 2 or page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue to build up that Shabbat energy. We have brought in the light, we have brought in the angels, and now we welcome that Sabbath bride, that most beautiful image that we can imagine coming towards us. We welcome in God and we welcome in Shabbat. Lacharodi, page 3 or page 138.
Lechadodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nikabela, join with us. Lechadodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nikabela, shamor v'zachor, v'dibur echad, ishmianu El HaMiyuchad, Adonai Echad, U'Shemo Echad, V'Shemo Tiferet, V'Litehila, Lechadodi, Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikavela, Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikavela, Likrat Shabbat, Lichu v'nei lecha, Ki lekor haberacha, Mirosh mikerem desucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machashavat techila, Lechadodi, Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikavela. Now it's your turn. Lechadodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nikavela. Hitoreri, Hitoreri, Kiva Orei, Umi Ori, Uri Uri, Shidaveri, Kivod Adonai, Alayich Shabbat Nikavela Lechat Dodi Likat Kala Pene Shabbat Nikavela.
We rise and face the entrance to our homes.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola Toch emuneh am segula Boi chala Shabbat Nikavela Lechat Dodi Likat Kala Pene Shabbat Nikavela Pene Shabbat Nikavela.
Friends, we remain standing. Our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, page 4, page 146.
I'm gonna cough.
Need a water
That
break?
feels better.
We haven't started the prayer. We're just lying. Do you need
What?
water? Do you need water?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna
Get some water.
have to get some
I'll
water
get some
too.
water.
So
You get
all
some
of you at
water.
home can get some water also,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
and that feels better.
Baruch Hu.
Let's try that again.
Let's do some lilas.
What?
I said, let's do some lilas.
Oh yeah. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu, et Adonai, Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamivorach, le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
We look out our windows, we see that the darkness has rolled in, and we recite these words of Ma'ariv, Aravim, page 4.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll, roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Oreyo v'layla, golelor mipnei choshech, golelor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei yom. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns
stand strong, we stand tall, shoulders back, eyes closed. We join together, declaring God's oneness. These words, Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Mochoto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We have words of Ve'ahavta on page 5 or on page 154. Ve'ahavta, these words that remind us of our Judaism. They remind us to act, that if we only pray, then it's not enough. That to truly live out our Judaism is to think about it every part of the day, when we lie down, when we rise up, when we go out of our house, and to be that symbolic exemplar to our family members, to our friends, and to the world. Words of Ve'ahavta, we join together.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukishartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'hitem kedoshim Elohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, V'hiyot lachem Elohim, Ani
Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Our prayer of redemption, our song of redemption, words of Micha Mocha, page 6 or page 158.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh. Try that with us. Micha Mocha ba'elim Nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot, Osei fele Nora tehilot, Osei fele. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses and the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar b'kodesh, Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai,
Friends, in words of Hashkivenu, we refer to God as our guardian. We've perhaps heard of this idea of guardian angels and maybe wondered, oh, in Judaism, do we have guardian angels? And the answer is yes, we do. Here it's technically, it's talking about God, but there is this idea that God sends out into the world guardian angels, and I think it's a beautiful image to perhaps imagine the angels carrying that Sukkot Shalom, that shelter of peace. Whether the image is like that of a chuppah, a small piece of fabric being draped over you in this very moment, or perhaps it's the biggest blanket in the world being wrapped around the entire earth. Anything is possible with angels. Hashkivenu, page 6 or page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Ushmor Tzeitzenu Uvoenu L'Chaim U'Shalom Ve'ata Ve'ad Olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim. V'Hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chaim.
Back when we sang Shalom Aleichem, we were inviting the angels to be with us for Shabbat. And kind of part of the story of what they're doing is they're making sure that we're doing Shabbat. They want to check in to see that we are still taking a moment to engage with our Judaism and to bring the joyfulness of Shabbat into our homes and into our life. And we get to do that with this special prayer of Vishamru, which can be found on page 6 and 7 or on page 162.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, v'dorotam v'ritol. I'm trying that with us. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, v'dorotam v'ritolam. V'nilvim b'nei Yisrael, v'nilvim b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, v'dorotam v'ritolam. Kishet yamim, kishet yamim, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, v'shameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וילפות ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We sing that again. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Tonight, I want to tell you about an angel I once met on earth. I found him, or he found me, in the heart of one of Kansas City, Missouri's roughest neighborhoods, down at the Independence Boulevard Christian Church's Micah Ministries. That's a mouthful. I used to go to the church on Mondays during my later high school and early college years. And throughout my years serving the hungry on those Monday nights, typically with other members of the temple congregation B'nai Yehuda, where I grew up, it was on those Monday nights that I met all kinds of people. Those who just lost their jobs, those who were working but needed some relief from feeding 4, 5, 6, 7 mouths to just get that relief one night a week. There were those in gangs, those who left gangs, and those experiencing homelessness. But one night, I believe I encountered an angel. In many ways, one could see the work of this church as a 2000s, 2010s version of Abraham and Sarah's tent. Though due to safety concerns, of course, for volunteers, we couldn't exactly run out the door to bring in the guests like Abraham did. But once they made it to the door, they were treated like the angels who visited Abraham and Sarah just a few Torah portions back. The church is bustling with people seeking to serve the guests. Even the idea of bathing their feet isn't so far off, as the church also provides guests with new clothes for everyday wear or for upcoming job interviews. The parallel continues as volunteers serve the guests restaurant style, taking drink orders and bringing them their plates. No one waits in line once they enter the church. Ve'ekach pat lechem v'sa'adu libechem, and let me fetch a morsel of bread that you may refresh yourselves, says Abraham. Abraham and Sarah do all they can to prepare the best for their guests. And on a Monday night in downtown Kansas City, you see volunteers scurrying around the large hall to take orders, fill plates, and serve hundreds of people. So now that the scene is set, let me tell you about that angel. He was a quiet man with the kindest eyes and a soft smile. His hair was scruffy, and he wore a modest flannel shirt and work pants. And I approached him to take his food order. But he let me know he'd like to wait until everyone else had been served. He wanted to make sure there was enough food for everyone at his table. I reassured him, there is plenty of food. We won't run out. What would you like? I'll wait, he responded. And so, respecting his wishes, I went around and my team served the whole table. And let me tell you, these were long tables. Imagine the entire social hall, that whole length. That's how long those tables were. And I reapproached the man. I said, well, as you can see, everyone has gotten their food. What would you like? He placed his order, I brought him his food, and he scarfed it down in 5 minutes. I circled back and shared that the policy of the church was that you eat until you're full. Would you like another plate? I'll wait, he said. I want to make sure that everyone in this room gets food first. The man eventually had his second plate of food and told me he was happy. That was all. Simply happy. A starving man with the kindest eyes I'd ever seen. He'd eaten his 2 plates of food, and he was happy. I don't know where he went after that night, but I've never forgotten that dinner service, and I've never forgotten how that man made me feel. There was just something about him. Perhaps you've had that feeling before too. That there is just some sort of inexplicable energy surrounding a person that you've just encountered for but a brief moment in time, and yet you'll never forget the way they looked at you or the way they looked at the world. You'll never forget the sparkle in their eye or the energy that you felt from them. Friends, there are angels among us. If only our eyes and our spirits are open to experiencing the moment. In our Torah portion this week, Vayetze, Jacob is on his journey from Beersheba to Haran, and he comes upon a certain place to stop for the night, lays his head down and dreams his famous dream, the story of Jacob's ladder. And in his dream, he sees a sulam, a ladder or stairway of sorts, that stretches from the ground of the earth and up to the heavens. And on the ladder, Jacob sees angels of God going up and going down. Throughout Jewish history, those who study this text have been struck by the word order in this verse. That the angels are first going up the ladder and second going down, implying that the angels begin on earth, meaning they dwell among us. Jewish tradition shares that each angel has one mission to complete before they reascend. A story from Talmud points out that the guardian angels of Michael and Gabriel and Raphael, they were the 3 visitors to Sarah and Abraham's tent. Michael's task was to tell Sarah that she would become pregnant even in old age. Raphael was sent to help Abraham heal after his circumcision, and Gabriel was sent to overturn Sodom. The angels are to stick with their mission, whatever God tells them to do. And there's also the Hasidic and Yiddish tales about Elijah the prophet, like an angel coming to us as a beggar. Elijah the prophet who has no death record, only a biblical story which ends with him disappearing into the night sky in a chariot of fire. Elijah the prophet who is to herald the Messiah. This very Elijah is said to reappear on earth from time to time, disguised as a beggar, seeking kind deeds from those around him. The Yiddish tales, however, typically tell of the misdeeds of the townsmen who, upon seeing the beggar, disregard him for his unkempt appearance, only to find out later that the beggar they turned away could have brought them the Messiah in that moment, if only they had treated him with kindness. As for the angel I encountered, I'm not sure what his mission was. Perhaps I was just an outside observer who felt his presence as he journeyed to impact a particular person's life. Or perhaps it was something more, a moment that increased my faith and pushed me to pursue the rabbinate. I've never forgotten the face of that angel. Maybe you've encountered someone who has changed your life for the better in a brief and unexpected moment. You felt a change in yourself after being in their presence, and you just knew that there was something special about that individual. When we are open to experiencing the divine in those around us, even in the most unexpected places, we have the opportunity to bring a holiness to the world. On this Shabbat, the Friday following Thanksgiving, may we be thankful for the good in our life and the fullness that we felt at our Thanksgiving dinner tables. May we simultaneously be mindful that not everyone in our community has the chance to feel that way each day. Like the hundreds who gather on Monday nights in downtown Kansas City. Parallel groups gather in downtown Atlanta and even right here in Sandy Springs. So let us continue to feed the hungry, and let us be on the lookout for the angels in our midst. Shabbat Shalom. Friends, we continue in prayer with our central standing prayer, the Amidah. I ask that you please rise. We join together on pages 7 through 9, or pages 166 through 170.
That my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Gehula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo v'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofeh cholim, U'matir asurim, U'mekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, U'midom elach, Melech memit u'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atal hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kdoshim chol yom yahlelu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, El HaKadosh.
We take a few moments for silent prayer and meditation, those prayers of the heart. And when you have completed your prayers, we invite you to take a seat.
Reb Nachman, Hasidic rabbi, saw angels all around him. Even in his darkest moments, he implored those he taught. His message continues today to truly look around them, to see God in everything, to see those divine spirits, those angels in everything. This is text by Debbie Friedman based on Reb Nachman's prayer. You are the one. You are the one. For this I pray, that I may have the strength to be alone, to see the world, to stand among the trees and all the living things, that I may stand alone and offer prayers and talk to you. You are the one to whom I do belong. And I'll sing my soul, I'll sing my soul to you, and give you in my heart. May all the foliage of the fields, all grasses, trees, and plants awaken at my coming. This I pray, and send their life into my words of prayer, so that my speech, my thoughts, and my prayers may be made whole, and through the spirit of all growing things. And we know that everything is one, because we know that everything is you. You are the one, for this I pray. I ask you, God, to hear my words that pour out from my heart. I stand before you. I, like water, lift my hands to you in prayer. And grant me strength, and grant me strength to stand alone. You are the one to whom I do belong. And I'll sing my soul, I'll sing my soul to you, and give you all that's in my heart. You are the one, for this I pray, and I'll sing my soul to you.
On behalf of Robert Wittenstein and our Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to welcome you into this virtual synagogue this evening. physical synagogue, you're in the virtual sphere. A few announcements, just a personal plug this Shabbat, which is that I have my upcoming class, which can be taken on Wednesdays at lunchtime or Thursdays in the evening. I will be teaching about creation. So the idea here is it's those Bible stories at the beginning of the Torah that, everybody's a little burned out from the high holy days, and you might not make it to Torah study right away afterwards when we've started the Torah again, and you may have missed something. So I hope that you will join me on Zoom for those classes as we take a deep dive into our creation stories and those early stories of our Torah. And so now, friends, if you have awesome things going on in your life, we are getting ready for that Shehechianu moment to share those good things, and a special shout out to Chick and Jesse on your 38th wedding anniversary. Best wishes from your daughter, Hannah. B'nai Mitzvah students, let us know that you are here. Please, please, please type in those amazing things going on in your life into the Facebook feed. Cantor Adesnik, what's going well this week?
What's going well this week? I hit number 20 today. I'm 20 weeks pregnant, and so I'm halfway through, and I'm very thankful to be halfway through, and looking forward to the next 20.
And we continue to wish Cantor Adesnik a B'Sha'ah Tova for sure. Wonderful. And for me, let's see. Lots to be thankful for. I'll say this for every week she's in town. Thankful that my mom is here. It's amazing to have her. And for technology and the chance for our families that were in lots of different places across the country this Thanksgiving to be able to join together over Zoom. So continue, please, to share those amazing moments going on in your lives as we join together in words of Shehechianu, thanking God for reaching this day, page 10.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
In these moments of joy, we know that there are those whose joy needs uplifting, friends who are in need of healing in body and mind and in spirit, and the world is in a lot of need for healing these days. And so we are especially thinking of this Shabbat. We're praying for the healing of Brett Samsky, Andy Rush, Aaron Brody, Marie Goldstein, Sonny Abelman, Michael Walensky, Susan Goldman, Ken Goldman, Larry Melnick, Shifra Bar Avraham Vasara, Mutalipa bin Devara Halevi, Matthew Wilcox, Deborah Braun-Schwartz, Renee Waltzman, Shifra Bat Sara, Jeffrey Siegelman, Leah Menucha Bat Yitzhak Benjamin Viliba, Max Gans, Annie Solomon, Francis Fleischman, Sherry Russ, Selma Shapiro, Heather Walensky, Arlene Truffleman, Barry Truffleman, Herb Goldman, Ilana Miriam Batchava, Ludmila Ross Coven. If there's someone that you are praying for the healing of this Shabbat, we invite you to please share their name in the Facebook comment feed as we join together in these words of Misha Berach, page 10. If you're with another joining together for this service, we invite you to wrap your arms around one another. And if you join us from your home by yourself this evening, please feel our energy and warmth as we send out our arms to wrap around you.
Misheberach avotenu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We bring in the sweetness of Shabbat. We consecrate Shabbat. We sanctify Shabbat with words of Kiddush. So get that wine glass out, that glass of grape juice. Now is the time to raise it up as we join together in words of Kiddush, page 11 or page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
Friends, we remain standing as we begin to conclude our service. We have Aleinu, the Shabbat, page 12 or page 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Repeat after us, or sing along with Rabbi Rachel. V'hashevota,
V'hashevota,
el levavecha,
el levavecha,
ki Adonai, hu ha-Elohim. That repeats, v'hashevota,
v'hashevota,
el levavecha,
el levavecha,
ki Adonai,
ki Adonai,
hu ha-Elohim.
hu ha-Elohim.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. At this time, we call to mind those who have died in most recent days, as well as those who have died in seasons past. We are in a period of Shiv'ah and offer our condolences, of course, to Mark, who is in the building with us behind the cameras, on the loss of his sister, Beth Ann Feinberg Ottinger. In the period of Shloshim for Mary Malice, Emanu-El Lifshez, Debbie Weisenfeld-Wertheim, Carrie Schultz, Edward Z. Finfer, Lucille Singer, and Eva Littman. And for those observing a yahrzeit, a death anniversary that occurs on this Shabbat, we recall the names of Doris Barron, Abraham Budnick, Joseph Charnow, Paul Samuel Cohn Jr., Jerry Davidson, Mildred Foreman, Sidney Gaber, Fanny Gudelman, Saul Goodman, Sylvan S. Guskin, Sam Harrell, Albert Hirsch, Morris Kirshner, Carol Kleonsky, Reuben Lappin, Sam Lewis, Gerald Manishin, Golda Manning, Martha Marty May, Donald Merdinger, Ada Michaels, Joseph Miller, Molly Schiffer, Pearl Patricia Schaefer, Sam Sokolik, Hyman Gabriel Sukenik, Harriet Levine Teller, Bernard Whitehorn, Sidney Yanchuk, and Muriel Zemmelman. If on this Shabbat you are in a period of Shiv'ah, I invite you to rise at this time. If you are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days mourning the loss of a loved one, we invite you to rise in your place. If you are in the first year mourning the loss of a loved one, Yud Bet, we invite you to please rise in your place. And if on this Shabbat you are commemorating the death anniversary, the yahrzeit of a loved one, I invite you to please rise in your place. And finally, if it is your custom to rise for Kaddish Yatom, as it is here at Temple Emanu-El, we invite you to do so now as we join in words of Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, page 598, or page 13. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'omei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudshah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. Ta'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru, amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru, amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.